Amazon may have surprised the street with their AWS revenue surprise, but we nailed it at 20% year over year right here on Big Picture Investing. Find out why we knew this ahead of time and what we see coming for AWS next in today's video. If you missed our earnings preview on Amazon, we predicted a 20% year over year growth in AWS. I'll include a link in the description below and at the end of this video if you want to go check that out after, of course, you watch today's video. I want to start off by showing a clip from the CNBC interview of the AWS head that actually came out this week before earnings, which I found to be a little odd because they're technically in the dark period. But it's going to hit on important points that allowed me to know what AWS's growth is going to be, and we can apply this Amazon going forward and all the hyperscalers.
Training their models today.
And the full scope of the project is roughly 2 gigawatts. When can we expect the project in its full capacity to be complete?
Well, I'll tell you, we're adding enormous amounts of compute capacity all over the world. And so actually just this in the last 12 months, we've actually already, as AWS, have already added 3.8 gigawatts of power in just the last 12 months alone. Actually, in the next quarter, we'll probably add another gigawatt of capacity. We're adding capacity all over the place. And so I don't know if it'll ever be done. We're rapidly adding new capacity all over the place. And so I don't know that we'll be done ever. We're going to continue to build as our customers need more capacity.
Okay, so that was a nice clip. The full interview is very good, but here is what everyone is missing. And I want everyone to understand about the hyperscaler AI data center growth. It comes down to when new data centers come online. And once that happens, they are capacity constrained. Those servers are sold instantly. This is not a 1999 scenario where we're building out dark fiber. There are no dark GPUs. So as soon as a hyperscaler like AWS turns up a new data center, they start producing revenue immediately. And that is what the street is missing. I'll give you more details on that in a minute, but first I want to highlight here that this growth path, you can see here, they highlighted 3.8 gigawatts of capacity that was added in the last 12 months. Most of that came actually in the last 4 months, and they're adding another gig in Q4. Everyone talks about the year over year growth number. What we want to be focused on is sequential quarter over quarter growth, because these are 100% sold the second they go on. So it's the rate of growth quarter over quarter where we can truly tell how much capacity is being added. And if you try to back into the numbers to try to figure out how much a gigawatt is adding to revenue to AWS, based on the trailing 12 months, I think we're looking around $1.5 to $2 billion in revenue per gigawatt added. That makes it much easier if you're trying to predict future growth out there and where AWS can be going in the future. That's why I believe you're going to see 20% plus year over year growth from AWS going forward, because if you take a look back at the old numbers, they can basically stay flat right now on data center growth, and they'll continue to have 20% growth for next quarter and Q1, but we know they're adding around a gigawatt every quarter, and that is going to add immensely to their growth. Next, I want to highlight the great research that brought this home for me, and that was from SemiAnalysts. This is what I shared on the preview, and this is what we hit on. It is just a matter of when new data center capacity comes online. This report came out 6 or 7 weeks ago. No one was paying attention. These guys do great work on finding out what data centers are coming on when. And once we see a new data center come on, we know that's going to be instant revenue to AWS and the other hyperscalers. So in Q3, they actually called for 18.5. I raised that to 20% on mine because I could tell that the growth rates were hitting faster. And you can see here, as I was saying, this is sequential growth. And they agree with me as well, Dylan and his team, that this growth is going to keep going all of next year for AWS because they're adding a gigawatt a quarter on top of what they already have. So we're going to see great growth for AWS going forward. Once the street comes around to understanding that they need to be looking at capacity, and when it comes online, you're going to see them raise their numbers for Amazon, AWS, and that's going to drive the stock higher. It's an opportunity for us. I know the stock is up 10% today after earnings, but the street has not adjusted their numbers. People haven't figured out that, hey, this growth is going to be real. Everyone is capacity constrained. The backlog at AWS is $200 billion. As they highlighted before, as soon as they turn a data center on, they turn up a new server, it is instantly 100% sold. This is a great scenario for AWS. They're going to continue growing. And right now, they are the company and the hyperscaler that the street was looking down on the most. So this is where we're going to see the most catch up in the market right now, and why I think we could see explosive growth in the AWS revenue and, more importantly, Amazon stock going forward for the next 3 to 6 months. Good luck with your trading. I will be doing a deeper dive into AI hyperscalers and the growth in the coming days. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you next time.